Hi students, today we are going to see how we can use final keyword in Java. The final keyword in Java can be used in below three contexts. One is it can be used while declaring a variable or for a method and for a class. So whenever you want to declare a particular variable as final variable, when you will be going for that is when you want a particular value of that variable to be constant. You cannot change the value whenever you declare a variable as final. So next, coming to the method, if you want to declare a particular method as final, what will happen is you cannot override that method. What is the meaning of override? I will explain with the program. Next is, if you want to declare a particular class as final, what will happen is you cannot inherit that particular class. That is, whenever you want to inherit the properties of that particular class as a parent class, you cannot get the methods or access to that particular class. I'll explain with an example, then you will understand. See, here what they are saying is, whenever you want to declare a particular variable as final, value of the final variable cannot be changed. Here if you see an example, here I am taking a class called as final test and I have declared a variable x with the value 90. And why I have used the keyword final is, I don't want to change the value of that particular x. That's why I have used the final keyword before that particular variable declaration. Okay. So next we are using a method run, and inside that run I have changed the value of x. I have now given the value of 400 to x. Now next, in the main method I have created an object, and using that object I am calling the run method. But here what will happen? I told that whenever you want to declare a variable as final, the value of that particular variable cannot be changed. So here an error will be thrown saying that x is a final variable and another value cannot be assigned to that. So now let's see this example in live. Now I am using an Eclipse IDE. So here if you want to create a class, so on the package, right click on the package, select new, under that new select class. So here I am giving the name of my class as final test, and I am checking. There is an option called that if you want to automatically the main method to be displayed, you can check this particular public static void main box. Okay, then click finish. So here what happened is, under the package A1, the final test got created. Okay, final test.java got created. You can see that thing here. Under A1 package, final test.java file got created. Now here what I am going to do is, I want to take another, I want to declare a variable x with value 100. Okay. So now I am going to take a method run, and under this run I am going to give a value 40, and I am going to print this value of x. The value of x is plus x. Now I am going to create an object for this. Always you need to save the file with the name of the class which is having the main method. Okay, f1 equals to new. So next, using this object, I want to call run method. So now let's execute this and see. So if you want to execute, what you have to do? Go to that particular file, whatever file you want to execute, right click on that and select run as Java application. So if you see here, initially I have given the value of 100 to x. Initially I have given the value of 100 to x, and later in the run method I have redefined the value to 40. Okay. So now when I am printing this particular value of x, I got the output as 40 because the value got reassigned again. The 100 value got overwritten by 40. Now if I want to make this particular variable final variable, let's see what will happen. So right click on this. So here you can see that when I gave the final keyword before this particular x declaration, an error got thrown. It's saying that final field text x cannot be assigned. Means as it is a final keyword, as we are using final keyword for this variable, you cannot change the value of that particular variable. Okay, that's why an error is getting thrown here. So let's execute this program and see. Run as Java application. See, if you see here, they are saying that exception in thread main got thrown. The final field x is nothing but a final variable. That's why it cannot be assigned. So if I remove this final and save, now I'll execute. Now I'll get the output as 40. Okay. But if I change this particular variable to final and right click on the final and execute it, I'm getting an error thrown. That is, it's saying that x is nothing but a finite variable. That's why you cannot assign a value to that variable again. Okay. I hope it is clear now. So that's the meaning of this particular statement. So now we have going to see how can we use final for the method. So if you make any method as final, you cannot override that particular method. Now let's see what's the meaning of this. So here I have taken another class final method. So here what I am doing is I have declared two classes. One is parent class, that is A, another is child class B. Now what I am doing, I have declared a method run and I am overriding this method run in the child class. So if you see, the print statements of both the methods are different. So what is the meaning of overriding is, if you have the same method in the parent, if you have a method in the parent class and you are going to inherit the same method from the parent class and just changing the functioning of the method, then you will say that is nothing but overriding of a particular method. Okay. So now if I change this particular method, if I declare this particular method as final, what will happen is the child class cannot override this particular method. So now if I don't place this final keyword, I will be getting the output as I am overriding run method. But here what will happen is, now I will not get the required output. Let's execute this program and see. Run as Java application. So if you see here, it's saying a1.b overrides the final method run. Okay. So here A1 is nothing but the package and B is nothing but the class name, and it is overriding the final method run. So whenever you declare a particular method as final, the child class cannot override this particular method. So now let's remove this final keyword and see what will happen. Okay. saving it. Now let's execute this program. So if you see here, I got an output saying I am overriding run method. So here what's happening is, when I remove the final keyword before the run method, as class B is extends A, it is nothing but whichever method is present in the class A is overriding that method, and once it is overriding, we are calling this method present in B child class, and that method is getting executed, and we got the required output. But once it is changed to final, we got an output saying the class B overrides final method run. Okay, so the meaning of this is, if you make any method as final, you cannot override it. So now let's check with the final class. What will happen if you make a particular class final? If you make a particular class final, you cannot extend that class. Meaning is, you cannot inherit the variables or methods present in that particular class. So now let's take an example. So here I have declared I have created a file called finalclass.java, and here I am writing, I have considered total 3 classes. One class is C, parent class C, other class is child class, and next is the main class, which is having the main method. Final class is the main class, which is having the main method. So here I have created an object for the child class, and using that child class object I am calling the run method. So here if you see what I have done, I didn't use any final keyword for the parent class. I have just defined run method. I am saying I am in parent class, and next in the child class I didn't define any method. So what I am doing in the main class, I have just created an object for the child class and calling run method. So as run method is not present in the child class, automatically it will go and consider the run method present in the parent class. So the output will be I am in parent class. Okay, let's execute that now and see. See, you got an output I am in parent class. But what will happen if we declare this particular class as final? So if you declare this particular class as final, we got an error saying the type D cannot subclass the final class. That's the meaning of this particular statement. If you make any class as final, you cannot extend it. Okay. Now let's get the clear example of this error. So if you see here, they are saying that unresolved compilation problem, the method run is undefined for the type T. Okay, that is because as you have declared the class as final class, the parent class is final class, the child class cannot inherit the properties of this particular run method, cannot inherit the run method of this parent class, because parent class is declared as final. So whenever they ask you about the final, what is the use of final keyword in Java, then you need to explain about all these 3 things: final variable, final method, final class, with some examples. Okay, I hope you got a clear idea.